What's up, everybody? Welcome Squad Squad and welcome to Slav Guns on Tour. We're at SHOT Show 2023. Taking a look at products that you guys have a huge interest in, everything focused on precision rifles. So I'm at the GRS booth. I'm here with Oscar, meeting for the very first time, but I am a little bit familiar with the products and you guys have shown quite a bit of interest in it. So we have a couple of detailed videos coming up on these in the near future, but for those not familiar with the brand, I wanted to make sure we get a nice, good overview of the company, the people behind it, and the products. So Oscar, first and foremost, thank you for having me here. I am definitely glad to be here and actually get my hands on the rest of the product lineup, which ordinarily you can't get. But for those not familiar, can you kind of talk about kind of like where GRS started and kind of how you got into the stocks and then walk us through them?
Sure. GRS Rifle Stocks started in 2010. That's when we delivered our first stocks. I came back from the army. I was a sniper there for 10 years, sniper instructor, so we knew the shooting part. Came back home, took over the company, which was doing furniture parts, and the furniture market was crashing. So we needed to do something to keep our people employed. So we started doing laminate stocks. That's how we got into it, and we focused on ergonomics and adjustability because we wanted to differentiate from what was in the market from before. So, and with the shooting experience we had and teaching people how to shoot, it became an excellent product. So we built up that distribution side outside of the US since 2010 up to 2020, basically. And we are very well known globally for shooting and ergonomic stocks.
And one thing that people might be looking at these stocks, they might be a little familiar, like, wow, that looks familiar because some of your stocks were featured on, I believe, Savage rifles in the past.
Yes.
But it seems like now, over the last 12 months or so, you've been really trying to make a push to the consumer market in the US as well.
For sure, 100%. It's a massive market, and we want to. Kind of our passion is to make people shoot better. And when you have a rifle stock like this, with the adjustments there, instead of you trying to fit your rifle, you get your rifle to fit you. And as you know, consistency equals accuracy downrange. So that's why we do it.
And I guess one of the cornerstones, and you might have talked about it in your own videos as well, I mean, one of the cornerstones of accuracy and consistency is making sure that the gun is adjusted to you, and you're not contorting your body around the gun and shooting from uncomfortable positions.
Right.
And it seems like your stocks have quite a few of the features required for that, essentially. So I guess walk us through it. I know some of these look familiar, some of them semi-familiar.
Yep. Okay, we'll start with the GRS Fenris. This is our entry-level stock. It has a very nice texture on the grips and the forend. This one is 35% fiberglass. There are pillar beddings in them, so you basically just take your action, put it in, torque it up, and it's good to go. It has a very ergonomic grip, and as you can see, the grip is 6 degrees off the core line of the rifle. The reason we did that is if you point at something, you have an angle in your hand, so we put that angle into the stock. So it's just a very natural fit. That combined with the push button adjustments for ease of use, you can adjust your stock for different shooting positions. If you put on clothing, if you have a backpack on, if you have so it's very, very flexible. So when you have the correct length of pull, you have the correct cheek piece, so you're not turtlenecking. When you put that rifle up, you straighten the crosshairs and you can engage. So
It's actually, so I mean, it's I kind of giggle a little bit when you call this an entry-level stock, because even though it's entry-level, it has all the adjustments you actually need to have on a stock, and many of the aftermarket stocks that you get for quote-unquote entry-level, it might not even have an adjustable length of pull, or you might have to use spacers, and but most may or may not, it's almost like 50-50, but it'll have an adjustable comb height on there. And not only does it seem like it's adjustable, it almost looks like it's one-handed, like we're like quick and easy.
Yeah, it's really easy to adjust. The thing about these stocks is that, as you say, you have 95% of everything you need. So compared to a standard stock, this is like a life-changing experience when you start shooting them, because it's a really a before and after experience.
So here's a question, particularly because you come from Norway. Not only do you do the precision rifle stuff, you also do the hunting things as well. Are these features only, I mean, you typically almost are required to have, to shoot competitively, either PRS or like F-class, things like that, but do you actually need to have that with a quote-unquote hunting stock? Because, well, the vast majority of hunting guns don't come with those.
That's correct. We feel that we do, because the confidence you build when you shoot long range, and the confidence or the knowledge we have there, why wouldn't you use that in a hunting situation? Because instead of shooting still, you have to be a responsible hunter, and when you know you can place that bullet exactly where you want it, that builds confidence and also meat in the freezer. So a lot of people all over the world, they use this for hunting, and the hunting market is actually the biggest market we have.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so if somebody wants to get something, well, I guess what else do you have?
Yeah. So just to say that
Yeah.
as well, I said it was an entry-level stock. These retail at $3.25. So it's a very, there's a lot of stock for the money.
I mean, it's very, very impressive, and like you mentioned, so because it is rigid, somebody's buying it for Savage or Remington, they're not going to need to bet it beyond that.
Yeah, no, correct. You just drop it in, torque it up with 45 inch-pounds, use fixed sticks or something like that, and it's good to go.
Very, very cool.
So that's the Fenris. Then go over to the Bifrost. The Bifrost is a lighter version. It has more adjustments,
Okay.
And it's a higher glass fiber content. So it's stronger, lighter, and there's more features on it. So one thing is it's the same thing with the length of pull and the cheek piece,
Okay.
but this one also has height adjustable included and canting. So the reason why you want to have canting is that when you cradle your stock, you're creating a pocket like this, and you have to fit that one as well. These ones you can also put on Picatinny rails at the front. It's prepared for a spigot mount, so in case you want to use the bipod that we're going to have a look at afterwards, it's a plug and play system as well. These ones are around $600.
Okay.
Available for more inlets than the Fenris.
Okay. And what inlets are these going to be available for?
These are for Ruger 1022s, Remington 700s, Tikas. We sell a hell of a lot of Tikas, sorry. But that's the number one seller all over the world. Then you have Hawas, Bergaras, Weatherbees. So it covers most of the high volume items. Yeah.
And I guess I also see a Picatinny rail section here on the bottom, so if somebody wants to put a bag rider or like a rear monopod, they can do that as well.
Yeah, we also provide bag riders and shooting bags, so it's a complete system. So you get those in green and also in black. Then if you want to go slightly more long range, to put it that way, you have the Varg. So the Varg has all the same features on the rear, the ergonomic grips, but it has a more tactical forend. Reason for that is that we love using top-mounted bipods. It is a perfect system when you shoot long range. If you have a bipod that is underneath the rifle, during recoil, you're creating a pivoting point. But if it's mounted on top, first of all, it self-centers, and then the way it transfers recoil, it just kicks straight back instead of creating that pivoting point.
And I guess kind of like, and the way somebody else explained it to me, and it made total sense, was on one hand, a typical bipod, you're trying to balance an elephant on a small ball, and with having it top mounted, it's just like you're holding a weight like a pendulum, and you're naturally letting the gun weight help minimize the roll. And I guess the other use for this bridge would be if somebody's shooting night vision and you have something like that, they would be able to use that.
Yeah, it's very popular to have cameras on there as well now. So these are M-Lock compatible, so you can basically put anything on there.
So otherwise, basically the rear of the chassis, well, the stock is going to be similar to the Bifrost.
Correct.
It's just the forend that's going to be different.
Same inlet, same features.
Okay.
Good.
And I guess, do you offer, I guess, if somebody wants to shoot off of a bipod and want to use a Picatinny rail, do you have options available for that?
Yes, we have Picatinny rails, we have Harris bipod mounts, all that kind of stuff as well.
And I guess Arca rails as well.
Yes.
Okay. Very, very cool. And I guess this is going to have the same inletting options as the Bifrost.
Correct.
Okay. So you mentioned something about a bipod.
Yes. The bipods we have it's a big beefy bipod. And it's also, we optimize it for shooting top mounted, but you can also use those on the Bifrost as we talked about. So in that case, you take a spigot, insert that into the hole, and just lock it off with one screw, and that's it.
Okay.
It has adjustments, of course, in the length, but a cool feature that we put in there as well is you can either dig into the dirt with the spikes, or you can flip it around so you can skid off the top if you're shooting from a bench, basically. Yeah. So these are very, very popular, and a huge part of those actually go to like FX air guns and stuff like that. A lot of people use those for the bench race shooting there.
And I know, so one of the friends of the channel is Alex from Affordable Optics, and every SHOT Show, anytime we get together, we have arguments over what type of bipod feed.
Yeah.
So him personally, he will never look at a bipod if it doesn't have spike feed.
Yep.
For me, since we do a lot of ELR type shooting, it's all about if it doesn't have sled feed, it's a non-starter. So the fact that you're able to combine both on here, I mean, it's pretty damn innovative.
It's a two-in-one solution.
Yeah. And I guess but the best part about it is you're not going to lose the bipod feed at the range because it seems like we're pinned in.
But these are very, very popular. It's a very stable solution.
And I guess
Also has the locking lever, so you can kind of torque it down when you find a position.
I guess the other thing you mentioned, so there's a way to mount it on top of the gun. How does that
Yes.
work? Do you need to buy anything else separately, or?
So that is actually a bipod and adapter set kit.
Okay.
So you get it finished. We can have a look at it over here afterwards if you want
And
to.
we'll actually just include a picture on there
Yep,
as well.
perfect.
And
What do you?
and I do have one of these that can arrive before SHOT Show, so you'll have definitely a video on this very, very shortly.
Awesome. Yeah, it's easy. You just mount it on the top rail. There's two screws that you attach it to, and then you just slide it on there.
I guess, so I know the adapter that comes with this is actually meant for Picatinny rails. Any plans in your future kind of streamlining a little bit? Because so a lot of this, if somebody wants to use it and they don't have one of your chassis, they want to use it with their gun that has M-LOK already, or if you want to bottom mount it with an ARCA adapter, is there a way to fit those?
We will look into it. I
Okay.
promise you that.
Okay. There we go. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, or probably these guys already had it in the books anyway. So those are the GRS Rifle Stocks that were not necessarily, well, the Bifrost is new. I'm sorry, not the Bifrost, the Fenris.
Fenris, yeah.
The Fenris is new,
Yep.
but the other ones, they might be probably just new to you, so definitely this will be a good overview of the options that are available, and they are going to be quite readily available in the United States in your future. Oscar, thank you very much for taking the time to walking us through all of these products, and you'll be able to definitely see the videos on these detailed reviews in the near future. We have a Fenris that's going to be going with a Howa 6mm Creedmoor as a hunting build, and then we're going to have something really special for the Warg in a really special new round, and you'll see that in the near future, so make sure you're subscribed. As always, let me know what you think. Which of these do you think is going to be right up your alley, and how impressed are you with the bipod? As always, thank you guys for watching. Keep on squatting, and we'll see you in the next video linked up here. Awesome.
Thank you.